Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Date Yourself, the podcast episode 20. I am so honored that you're listening and that we are at episode 20. That's amazing. So thank you so much if you are tuning in for the first time or you are a regular listener. I love you guys. Just wanted to put that out there. So today is a special episode and I have not been talking to you a lot for the last 3 weeks, I think it's now. It has been. And that's because maybe if you have listened to the last episode, because I started a new journey, started a new job, I am going to continue this podcast and my coaching work for sure, but I have to go through this longer period of training and then I'm a little bit more free again. So this episode is called Nobody is the Boss Over You, but that has nothing to do with my work actually, but it does have to do with being your own boss. And of course, that's kind of what we're talking about here in this podcast, right? So I wanted to dive a little bit more deeper. It's kind of going to be a little bit of a pep talk. So if you need one, keep on listening because I got some good stuff for you. But you know how sometimes life kind of stands still because something happened or you just don't really want to dive into life anymore. You're just like, it's too much and go into hermit mode. Or you've just been hurt and you've got your walls up, right? So I see that as a very vital part of healing, of getting to know yourself. And then there is this time where you feel confident enough to say to life like, okay, I'm ready to let you in again. And that's kind of where the magic happens. So I've been talking with someone on Instagram, one of my Insta friends, Jessica. She also has a really cool membership if you want to check that out. I've also been a guest speaker on her membership, so I love her. But she had a long period of being in the hermit mode, like a little too long if we're talking like being comfortable with it. But then in a week, everything changed. Like she got a new job and some other stuff happened. I'm gonna keep that. That's her story. But it was crazy to me like that in an instant, life can flood in and kind of change up your whole life again. You have this saying like life can change in a day. It really can. But it's up to us to, and like sometimes we're ready for it, but sometimes we can welcome it in again with open arms instead of kind of being scared and blocking the blessings of life from us. And I've also talked about this because change can be scary, right? You don't know what is on the other side. You're not sure what will happen if that change comes, even if it's positive change. And like, I kind of resonate with that new job that I have now. It's really fun, but it's also still like a lot. And it's okay to be a little scared of that, but it is also where the growth happens, right? And so for me, I've just had a little vacation in Sweden and I also done a wonderful retreat. I met the most lovely people and I've been able to do my work with these women and they were so amazing. So many magical and healing stuff happened and I was able to witness that and that was amazing. So I had that and then I came back and yeah, I did not really feel great because of some stuff that happened, and so I decided to take a very spontaneous trip to like a really big mansion, almost like castle like Bridgerton vibes. It was like it was Sunday and then I decided to go on Monday like next day. It was very expensive. It was like a premium experience because I don't like to use the word expensive because it's just like the way you talk about money is very important because too expensive means that you don't think you deserve it. I did think that I deserved that. I just thought it was very premium experience. But I gave it to myself because like when I get into hermit mode, when I need to sort through my shit, I get very into my head. And so I got very into my head in a beautiful mansion. And I also had fun in the meantime, which I highly recommend. But that's kind of the point that I want to make. I really needed that hermit phase, that alone time while going through some shit, because that way I could really feel what my truth was. I could feel how I really felt. Versus if I would not be doing that, I would take on the truth of someone else. And I know that how that works with me. If I do not take the time to listen to myself, to feel what it is that I'm really feeling, I will take on somebody else's truth about how I should feel or what I should think or what the truth is. But what is my own truth? And so taking that space to figure that out is really important if you want to go through to the next phase, which is like opening up to life again. I feel like if you miss a step in this process, it's going to be difficult. And trust me, I've tried, because when I've gone through some shit before, like, you know that you sometimes do not want to feel the feelings and you do not want to sit with it, right? Maybe because it has been taken so long, the pain and the hurt and whatever, or maybe it just happened and you're like, I'm over it, I don't want to think about this anymore. The last scenario was my scenario, and I was just like going out there doing my thing, but not taking the time to really get back and sit with it. And that only prolonged the healing period. And so that is kind of the phase that I'm getting out of now, and where I've said to life, like, I'm ready to let the magic of life flood in again. Like, because life can go really, like, just with my Insta friend, life can come in really fast and change things. I've been on locked up mode for a long period of time. In certain areas, other areas not really. And that's like, what are you comfortable with, right? Being honest with yourself, like, okay, I'm ready for this, I'm not ready for that. And now I'm just like, okay, I'm open for anything to happen, life can flood in. And what happened is that this happens very randomly, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I also saw this pattern with my friend. And then I had a similar experience with something that happened that really healed me. And so this wonderful moment happened where I had a conversation with some people, and they do not even know that this happened. But while having that conversation and after, I realized a lot of things just because of talking to them. And through those realizations, I healed some parts within me. I had a different experience. I had a different perspective. And it can be as simple as that. When you are ready to let life, the magic of life, flood in again, these kinds of things happen. Sometimes you manifest some really big things and life just helps you move on and into a new chapter. And sometimes new puzzle pieces fall into place by having a conversation or getting a new opportunity or whatever. And I'm so grateful that I had that conversation. They still do not know like how healing that was for me. But it can happen like that. And so I guess that with this podcast episode, I just want to make sure that you can feel within yourself when you're ready for that moment to know what your truth is, so you can feel strong and determined and resilient in your journey moving forward. To take that healing time if you need it, to take that hermit time as long as you need it. Because some people have said to me that I was taking too long to heal, like be in my hermit phase, not in those exact words, but it was very clear. And I was not okay with that. It kind of hurt me because you have your own timing. We all have our own timing. I cannot decide for you when that timing is. I cannot speed up your healing process. What I can do is listen to you and give you some insight, my perspective, right? And that can heal some part of your story. That can happen, but it's you who decides when you're ready, and you will feel when that time is. Honestly, like I said, it's not in all areas of my life, but some areas of my life I was locked. Like I was not ready to let life in again because it really hurt and I was still scared. But now I know that it's okay to let life in again. I did not have that feeling before, but now I do. So until that moment happens, like who cares if people say like you should get out there again, or you should start this again, or why are you not doing this? Fuck them. Sorry, but honestly, you will know what you know, right? You are the only person who knows when you're ready to take that next step, to let life in again. That's your process. And yes, it helps to listen to other people's perspective, but know your own truth first. Because if you do not know your own truth, you will take on somebody else's truth. So learn to become your own best friend. Learn to sit with the uncomfortable emotions, the uncomfortable thoughts, because that's the only way that you're gonna sort through what is yours and what is someone else's. What is someone else's opinion or truth that they want you to believe, and what is it that you actually think and believe. There's a big difference in that. And even if people think that they have the best intentions with putting their perspectives on you as the truth, it is not the truth, it is a truth. Just like your truth is a truth. I hope you're still getting me, but like, do not let other people's opinions about life and stuff influence you too much, because you get to have your own opinion about it, your own feelings. And those are just as important as those people's feelings and opinions are, maybe even more, because they're yours and they are yours to explore. And the more that you know how you feel about certain things, the more that you put yourself in different scenarios and situations, the more that you get to know yourself. I'm getting to know myself at this new job a lot, and sometimes it's confronting and sometimes I'm very surprised. And yeah, it's really fun. I wrote an Insta post about this like 3 weeks ago, like sometimes it's good to reinvent yourself, and I truly feel like I am kind of reinventing myself. And that's kind of the scary part, but that's also really the fun part. I get to know myself on a different level now and shape myself and learn and adjust while going through that. And that is also the magic of life, right? You get to become the person that you want to be. You get to decide what it is that you want. You get to feel what is your truth and not run away from it and do something with it. And if we would not do that, we would all be the same person. And that's the beauty and the magic of life, that we are all different. We all have our different experiences and opinions and feelings about them. And that's totally okay. And I think that that is the beauty of life, to respect each other in that process. To not decide what someone else needs, but to let them be free and to let them have their own experience and have their own truth. It doesn't have to be the same as mine, honestly. I want to respect that. And at the same time, be open to those perspectives, because maybe someone says something that will change your life forever, like it did with me. So, yeah, be open for the magic of life and listen to your own truth and feel when that moment comes that you're ready to let the magic, let the light in again. And you are the only one who gets to decide that. So just feel. And when that moment comes, you will know. And I know that it sounds so fucking simple, but it is. When you are wondering what to do, mostly what our soul voice is saying, when I have a session with my clients and they ask like, I'm in this situation and it takes so long and I know that I should do something, but I don't know what to do. Our soul, our intuition mostly says, you will know what to do when you know what to do. It's that simple. And honestly, it's always like that. Like, I can force myself to do stuff, try stuff. And like, of course you can take that route. That's fine. Like, you will learn something from it in the process. I also don't think that there is a wrong way. There is no wrong way to do things, to like a wrong path to take. We all learn something with each road, right? But when you want to listen to your soul, when you want to listen to your own truth, your soul will speak to you when you're ready. And you can just follow that voice and see what happens. That's the most loving way, I think, to go about things, because you really trust your own timing. You trust your soul's, your, like the gods, the universe timing. And that is also how the magic can come in. You will know when you are ready, because I also feel like the universe has been preparing you after you've gone through that healing period to kind of let you grow into this next version of yourself that can take on these new lessons that went the flood in. So it's kind of you saying to the universe, like, okay, show me what you've got, I'm ready now. Right? And so that's why I also think that if you are going to force yourself to like not feel the feelings, not sit with them, not have that healing period, and you just go on and on and on, it's built different, that experience. And it's not right or wrong. It's just that you are going to force yourself to kind of prolong the healing phase because it still has to happen. It's just like you get to decide when you want to have that moment where you are honest with yourself, sit with yourself, feel your feelings, get to know your truth. You're kind of prolonging that experience until something maybe happens that forces you to sit your ass down and listen to yourself, right? Maybe sickness, maybe there's something that happens with a loved one, or like these big events that make us have to slow down. And so there's no right or wrong way, but I would just highly recommend listening to yourself, listening to your own timing, because then the universe, God, can really work with you because they already know and they have already prepared that this is my own truth, right? Again, listen to what you feel about this. But I feel like God has already planned like 10 steps ahead of us, already knows where we're going. And so if you listen to yourself, you will hear and feel and see the next steps unfold in front of you. But you have to be patient because these things can take time. But life is hopefully you have a lot of years to live. And hopefully you are kind enough and give yourself enough compassion to give yourself some grace in the whole process and take your own timing. That was my pep talk for today. I love you guys very much and hope to speak to you soon. Hope you're all doing great. If you want to send me a message, let me know on Insta, DM me how you've been. If you have any questions for me, any future podcast episodes you want me to make, would happily think of how I can integrate that. If you want to do a personal session with me, listening to your own soul's voice, like I talked a little bit about in this episode as well, I help you just listen to your intuition, listen to your own truth in a really easy way. This way you are less likely to self-sabotage. You can check my website or send me a message if you want to know more. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, day or evening. See you in the next one. Bye.